to the next point. We should ensure that whatever we say is clear.
That means work is being done. We can see that it is in opposite direction.
Hello, my students at home. I'm glad to meet you as usual. My name is Abbas Shehu, your commerce teacher. Today we are going to continue with our series of lessons to do with trade. We have started about 4 weeks ago where we talk about the meaning of trade, division of trade, where we have home trade and foreign trade. Talk about what home trade is. We talk about also the division of home trade where we have retail trade and wholesale trade. We have discussed extensively on what retail trade is. Today we are going to move to wholesale trade. Under this lesson, we have the following areas to cover. We'll look at one, meanings of wholesale trade and wholesaler. We'll look at functions of wholesaler to manufacturer, as well as retailer. We'll look at types of wholesalers. We'll look at channel of distribution and middlemen. We'll look at factors to consider before choosing a particular channel. Then we'll look at survival and elimination of middlemen. Then we have summary, and then lastly, assignment. Now, what do we mean by wholesale trade? Wholesale trade. Wholesale trade is the business activity which entails buying of goods in bulk from manufacturer or producer and selling in small quantities to retailers and other merchants. We're talking about wholesale trade. It's the art. It's business activity that deals with buying of goods from the producer or manufacturer in bulk, in large quantities, and selling in small quantities to the retailers. You know, when we're talking about retailers, we talk about retail trade as the buying of goods from wholesalers. Buying of goods from wholesaler. This one is talking about buying of goods from the manufacturer and selling to the retailers. The art of doing that is what you call wholesale trade. And wholesaler is the person who is engaged in doing this type of business. It's the one that buys from the producer in large quantities and sells to the retailers in small quantities. Now that's talking about what we mean by wholesale trade and then wholesaler. Now having talked about that, we now move to functions of wholesaler to manufacturer. Of course, the wholesaler is in between the producer and the retailer. What are the functions he performs as far as wholesaler is, or as far as manufacturer is concerned? Number one, breaking of bulk or bulk breaking. He buys goods in bulk and breaks them and sells to the retailers in small quantities. That's number one. Number two, financing. In this regard, the wholesaler finances the manufacturer in two ways. One, by making money available to him through buying of goods produced by the manufacturer. Two, he can equally give him what you call credit or loan, who has to use the money in carrying out his business, thereby directly or indirectly financing his business. Number three, information dissemination. He provides the manufacturer with information pertaining to the reactions of people in terms of the goods the producer or manufacturer is making. Number four, provision of warehousing. The wholesaler is normally having warehouse where the goods produced by the manufacturers are stored and gradually taken to market for sale. Number five, advertising. He carry out advertising on behalf of the manufacturer. And number six is what you call price stability. He performs this function by making price in the market to be stable through making goods available in his warehouse as well as in the market, even where the production is not, the production cease. Number 7, he provides credit facilities to the manufacturer, as we have said earlier on. Provision of transport. He provides transport for carrying the goods from where they are produced to his warehouse. Number 9, risk bearing. He bears the risks of business. And number 10, branding and packaging of goods. Number 11, giving advice to the manufacturers on what to do pertaining goods. Lastly, carry out what you call market research. Carry out market research in order to know the feelings of people, the feelings of customers as far as the goods produced by the producer is concerned. That's talking about functions of our wholesaler to the manufacturers. Now we go to functions of wholesaler to the retailers. 1, provision of variety of goods. The wholesalers make goods available in different varieties to the retailers. He buys from manufacturer 1, manufacturer 2, manufacturer 4, and make these goods available for the retailers to come and buy. Number 2, provision of credit facilities. He sold goods to the retailers on credit. Number 3, advising the retailers. He advises them on how to go about doing their business, because the more their business is good, then the more his own business will be good too. And the better for everybody. Number 4, making goods available in small quantities. The wholesaler provides goods to the retailers in small units, breaking them into small units for him to be able to buy based on the money or capital he's having. Number 5, transportation services. The wholesaler provides transportation services to the retailers by making the goods, by carrying the goods down to their places. And number 6, grading and packaging of goods. Number 7 is price stability. Just like in the case of the function performed to the manufacturer, he equally performed this function to the retailer. Number 8, advertising of goods, the same thing too. Number 9, risk bearing, and the last one we have is linking the retailer and the producer. He serves as the middleman between the retailer and the manufacturer. Now we go to the types of wholesalers. There are mainly 2 types of wholesalers. We have the merchants wholesalers and the middlemen wholesalers. What are merchants wholesalers? Merchant wholesalers buy and resell goods on their accounts, taking title to the product they handle and convey the title directly to those they deal with. We call them merchants wholesalers. And they perform the following functions. Number 1, they arrange credit terms. They arrange credit terms in terms of dealing with their retailers. Number 2, they undertake the trade of goods. Just as we have mentioned, they have what you call warehouse, where they keep the goods, where the goods are kept, where the goods bought from the manufacturers are kept. Number 3, they provide promotional services. Promotional services. Number 4, they provide advisory services. These are the functions of our merchant wholesalers. Now we go to types of merchant wholesalers. Types of merchant wholesalers. There are many types of merchant wholesalers. Number 1, we have specialist wholesalers. We have rack jobbers. That's number 2. Number 3, we have cash and carry wholesalers. Number 4, we have truck wholesalers. Number 5, we have drop shipment. Number 6, general wholesalers. Number 7, the last one, we have wholesale cooperative societies. All these are types of merchant wholesalers. Now we go to the second types of wholesalers, which we call agent middlemen. Agent middlemen are mostly engaged in wholesaling rather than retailing. They assist in negotiating sales and purchases or bought on behalf of their principals. That's why they're called agents. They have their principals, they have their clients. They do not take title of the goods because they're agents, but receive commission for their work. Because they're agents, they are paid what is known as commission for their job. For their jobs. They do not take title of the goods, but receive commission, as we said, for their job. Agents, middlemen are brokers, manufacturers, agents, commission agents, auctioneers, and selling agents. These are the types of middle or agents, middlemen, and we are going to take them one by one. The first one is the brokers that we have. Brokers are agents that link or connect sellers with buyers. They take neither title nor possession of goods. They don't take title or possession of goods. A broker receives commission called brokerage. Is known as brokerage. The agent, what he receives is known as brokerage. They usually specialize in a narrow range of products. They represent either the buyer or the seller in terms of negotiating purchases or sales without having physical control over the goods involved. They only negotiate and connect the buyer and the seller. They don't take possession of the goods. And they are paid what is known as brokerage as for their commission. Number two, manufacturers' agents. They are appointed by producers to market their products in particular area. In particular area. The manufacturer will pay them equally what is known as commission for their work. They are usually engaged in industrial or durable goods. What are their features? The features of manufacturers' agents include one, they handle such sales of goods within a limited territory. They handle sales of goods within a limited territory. Number two, they possess limited authority with regard to the terms of sales and purchase. Number three, they are rarely involved in credit collections and risks. They are not involved in credit collection or risks. Number four, they have a contractual relationship with their principals. There's a contract between them. Number five, they can represent manufacturers of non-competing but related line of goods. Let's talking about the second one. We now go to the third one, which is commission agents. A commission agent is an agent merchant who buys and sells goods on commission basis. Anytime you hear agent, he is dealing with commission. He is paid what is known as commission. He is engaged in doing a particular thing on behalf of somebody, known as his principal. He usually exercises fiscal control and negotiates the terms of sale of goods handled by him. He takes control of negotiating of the terms of trade between the seller and the buyer. The seller is his principal. Then we go to auctioneer. It's an agent who offers goods to prospective buyers through public auction. He sells goods to the highest bidder. Whenever you hear auction, it deals with highest bidder, who is able to pay, whoever is able to buy at the highest price is known as the highest bidder, and the goods are normally sold to him. He sells goods to the highest bidder, and he deals in unique goods such as artwork, houses, vehicles, so on and so forth. Let's talking about that. We now move to channels of distribution. Channel of distribution. This refers to paths through which goods move from one point to another. One place to another, from the point of production to the point of consumption. It is the path through which the ownership of products is transferred and is moved from one point to the other. That's what we mean by channel of distribution. Now, in terms of moving the goods from the point of production or from the producer's point to the consumer's point, we have people that are there in the middle, and they are referred to as middlemen. Middlemen are the wholesalers and the retailers who specialize in performing activities relating to the purchase and sales of goods in the process of of their flow from producers to the final consumers. The middlemen are hostelers and retailers. They are institutions situated in the marketing channel as point between the producer and the final buyers or consumers. Now, what are the factors to be considered before choosing a particular channel, whether wholesaler or retailer? One, you think of number of potential buyers. The number of the potential buyers will determine whether it is the wholesaler that the final consumer will be dealing with or it is going to be the retailer. Number two, competitors channel. Then number three, resources of producers. Number four, nature of goods. Number five, size of order. And number six, location of customers. All these are factors that are normally considered before choosing a channel of distribution. Now we go to a very interesting aspect, which is survival and elimination of our middlemen. There are people who are of the opinion that middlemen should be eliminated because of reasons given by them. And there are some that say no, they should be allowed to operate because of certain reasons as well. So we're going to look at these various views. Now let's look at their survival. What are the reasons behind those thinking that they should be allowed to be there? They should be allowed to survive in the channel of distribution. They have reasons such as one, they should not be eliminated for the following reasons. Number one, that their functions or the functions they perform to both the producers and the consumers cannot be done by any other persons in the chain of distribution. Now, by the time you remove them, there's going to be a problem because there's nobody that will be there to perform what they are doing. And of course, what they are doing is making the goods, or moving the goods from the point of production to where they can be consumed. Nobody will be there if they are not there. Two, they offer employment to various people, thereby contributing to the economic growth and development of the country. There are a lot of people that are engaged, that are gainfully employed, that are hostelers, that are retailers. By the time you say they should be eliminated, then many will be rendered jobless. And that will not be good for the economy. The economy of a country is normally seen to be developing, seems to be growing, where a lot of people are gainfully employed, carrying out one economic activity or the other. Now, for those that are thinking that they should be wiped out or wiped away, they have their reasons too. And their reasons are as follows. One, that they contribute to the increase of goods and services. Two, they create artificial scarcity through hoarding of goods. And because of these reasons, some people are saying that they should be eliminated. If they want to increase prices sometimes, they create artificial scarcity by hoarding the goods, by hiding the goods, by making the goods to be in short supply in the market, thereby making people to demand more. And by the time people are demanding more, or by the time we have more people demanding for such goods that are not available in the market, of course, price will go up. Three, that they cause unnecessary delays in terms of goods reaching the final consumers. That instead of you to deal directly with the producers, you wait until goods are bought by the wholesalers, by the retailers before the goods finally reach to you. And in transit, we have delays. And because of this reason, some are saying that they should be eliminated. In your exams, you may be asked to give reasons why you think middlemen should be eliminated, or why you think middlemen should be allowed to continue, should be allowed to carry on with their business. When you ask this question, you should be able to answer. Based on these reasons, that's what people say or what people think that it should be. It should be eliminated, or they should be allowed to survive. Now, we have discussed so many things, and in summary, we have said what we mean by wholesale trade, and also who is a wholesaler. We have said what is wholesale trade, and we say who is a wholesaler. Not only that, we were able to talk about the functions of wholesaler to one, the manufacturer, and then two, to the retailer. The wholesaler, as a middleman, performs two functions, to the manufacturer as well as to the retailer, and we have mentioned them in our class today. Not only that, we went further to talk about types of wholesalers. Types of wholesalers. In this class, we have only mentioned 7 of them. We have only mentioned them. We didn't discuss them. We will discuss them in our subsequent classes. We have equally talked about channel of distribution. And it's important for you to know that in this channel of distribution, there are basically 4 people that are involved. The first one is the producer or manufacturer. Then we have, of course, the second one, who is the wholesaler. Then we have the third one, the retailer. And the last one, the consumer. And under this channel, several questions can be asked, especially in terms of objective questions. It will be asked, for example, to say, who is the last link in the channel of distribution? And the last link, of course, is the final consumer. That production, you can equally be asked this question, that production can only be said to be completed when goods reach the answer is final consumer. You can equally be asked, who are the middlemen in the channel of distribution? They can give you options. Of course, we have the wholesalers and the retailers. So many, like I said, questions can be generated from that particular just point, from this particular subtopic, which is channel of distribution. We equally discuss factors to be considered before choosing a particular channel. The factors you need to consider before you choose a particular channel in terms of movement of goods from one point to another. Then we talk about survival and elimination of middlemen. Survival and elimination of middlemen. And we have mentioned it over and over, that we have the wholesalers and the retailers. Sometimes you may have more than 2, but today we have already discussed 2 of them, wholesalers and retailers. So we have seen the reasons that they should be allowed to be there, and reasons why they should be wiped out. That's just what we have seen today. Before we go, let's have assignment for you, as usual. There are 3 questions which we want you to answer, and then send to us as you always do. Number 1A, state 4 functions of a wholesaler to a retailer. Number 1A, state 4 functions of a wholesaler to a retailer. B, explain 5 advantages of small-scale retailing business over large-scale retailing. Explain 5 advantages of small-scale retailing over a large-scale business or retailing. Number 2, mention and explain any 5 instances where manufacturers can operate without the middlemen. Where manufacturers can operate without the middlemen. Mention any 5 instances where manufacturers can operate without the middlemen. Number 3, the last one, mention and explain any 4 factors to be considered when choosing a channel of distribution. Again, number 1A, state 4 functions of a wholesaler to a retailer. B, explain 5 advantages of small-scale retail business over a large-scale business. Number 2, mention and explain any 5 instances where manufacturers can operate without the middlemen. Number 3, the last one, mention and explain any 5 factors to be considered before choosing a channel of distribution. These are the questions we expect you to write. For your references, you can contact the following textbooks. Number 1, Essential Commerce for Senior Secondary Schools by O.A. Longe. Number 2, Comprehensive Commerce for Senior Secondary Schools by J.U. Anyele. These are the books you can contract if you want to read more. And for your submission of assignment, you can submit through these numbers, either through SMS or WhatsApp, as usual. Abbas Shehu on 081 00 127508. Again, Abbas Shehu on 081 00 127508. And Yari Zakaria on 0800656 94134. Yari Zakaria on 080656 94134. Stay home, stay safe, keep learning. Thank you very much. Have a nice time.